There he is, Bammana Dibateza, very experienced fighter, been in with lots and lots of good men, including John Joe Owen. And he's a very durable fighter as well. Well, looks like Retta's going to go to the red corner now. I think they've just changed over. It doesn't take a great deal to confuse me, and confused I am. So here we are then, and this in fact could really be, there's Yifru Retta, he's in fact from Addis Ababa, in the capital of Ethiopia. And as I say, Bammana Dibateza from Zaire. So this could really be for the All-African title. How's the MC?
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with a super featherweight contest of 8 3-minute rounds. Between and introducing firstly in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, formerly from Zaire and now coming from London, will you please welcome Bammana Dibateza. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the multicoloured trunks, also from London, Yifru Retta. At the weigh-in of both boxers, scaled 9 stone 7 pounds. Your officials for this contest, your timekeeper Mr. Harry Foxall, and your referee Mr. Jim Pridden.
So referee for this one then, Mr. Jim Pridden. So Yifru Retta against Bammana Dibateza. And you can see Retta there in the red, gold and green. I think that means he's a Rastafarian, doesn't it, Bobby?
Well, I don't know. I thought it was his national colours, actually. But I don't know.
You're probably right.
Yes.
So Dibateza, the shorter man. As I say, he's been around, fought a lot of good fighters. In fact, he's actually fought Retta once before, back in May of 1994, got outpointed over 6 rounds. But lost to the reigning British lightweight champion Michael Ayres on points as well.
Yes. He looks
as that, yeah, and then going down on 12 rounds to John Joe Owen for the now defunct Pentacontinental Super Featherweight crown.
He looks a very competent boxer.
Absolutely.
Tall, rangy.
Yes, he's off a very good win, in fact, Retta, against Carl Tilley, who's a bit of a handful. And prior to that, beat the former Southern Area champion, Alan Mackay, in good style.
That's very good.
And unfortunately, as you saw by Dibateza's record, it doesn't win that many. In fact, he's lost almost twice as many as he's won. Nice little left hook there from Retta. Just poked it over the right glove. Retta based in Canning Town in East London with the national promotions team.
Yeah, he's trying to set up Dibateza with a jab.
And knowing Dibateza the way we do, Bobby, we've got a feeling that this man's going to last 8 rounds, haven't we?
Oh, he's a very strong young man, very powerful young man.
In fact, I do believe this one has actually been cut from 8 rounds to 6.
Has it really?
Yes.
Someday we're relieved.
Yes, this is now a 6-round contest, not the original 8. So some nice long punches there from Retta.
Yes, he's using his jab beautifully. He's setting the man up, finding his reach.
And when you say setting up, I think we should explain to people, he's landing the left jab in an effort to get the right crossover.
Or the hook, yes.
Yep.
He's finding his range with the punch, his distance with the punch, and then he's trying to tee off with a big hook or a big cross.
I've always had a feeling about Dibateza. He actually possesses far more talent than he ever shows in these British rings. You know, he seems to be a very obliging, good loser, doesn't he?
Yes, you're right, actually. He's got an awful lot of talent.
But just fails to use it.
Yes.
As Retta takes the opener.
He's got the old champion, Johnny Cook, in his corner.
Yes, James Cook, yeah, the former British super middleweight champion. In fact, the European super middleweight champion as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Very nice fellow.
Lovely, lovely man. Here we are, a bit of replay from Retta, trying to peel his banana.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest will now go 6 rounds and not 8 rounds as previously stated.
And we saw a nice little comeback there from Bammana as he was put under pressure.
Strong, powerful young man.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2 then of this, as I say, rescheduled 6-round contest. So Retta then keeping it long, and as you say, Bob, setting up the long left hand in an effort to cross the right, and then of course follow up again with the classic combination, the left hook.
Exactly, yes. He's just finding the range, keeping the reach, picking his spots. Then there goes the big one.
And Dibateza's only ever stopped one opponent in his 7 wins, so I don't think he possesses the class or the power to bother Retta too much, do you?
He's a very cocky young man because he takes punches in the shoulders, he takes punches in the elbows, he's blocking with his hands.
Yes, that's for sure. And having a bit of a flap himself.
Flap out.
Justin Duco beat Dibateza in 5 rounds. Of course, he's the reigning Commonwealth featherweight champion. Recently won. So obviously Retta will be able to try and emulate that performance.
I think so. I think he's trying to make a big impression.
And of course,
the problem with making big impression, you're trying to tee off, you know. Now he's reaching, he's feeding, he's reaching.
And of course, Retta will probably never be eligible to fight for a British Championship because the rules of residency won't apply by the time he's still young enough, if you know what I mean.
Yes, exactly.
How do you feel about the propensity of multi-championships that are around this sport today, Bobby?
Well, it's good for boxers because when a championship tag is made in a fight, it definitely brings in more people, television buy it, so therefore in that sense it's good for boxing.
Good for business?
I'm not sure, yes, I'm not sure whether it means much. There's so many now, it's just gone a bit too far.
Of course, in your day, you would have been a champion of probably 6 or 7 different organisations, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, once again, Retta scoring at long range and keeping his nose in front, but little Dibateza, he's game, isn't he?
He's game. He's throwing lots of leather. Not always with a knuckle part, but he's throwing lots of leather.
So another good round then, I think, for Retta. But once again, we're seeing a spirited effort there from Dibateza, although not too many of his punches landed.
No. And I'm afraid when he's swinging with not with the knuckle part of the glove, so we're not really counting the ones that are landing.
Exactly.
But he's a very difficult man to catch cleanly. Being small and compact and moving. He's even trying to jab with Retta, so...
And of course, he's got a very good man in the corner, one Darky Smith.
Mr. Darky Smith, been with many, many good fighters.
Absolutely. There he is, old Darky, and currently trainer of the reigning European heavyweight champion, Zelko Mavrovic.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Well, of course he is, yes.
And of course many others in the past, and probably many more in the future.
Yes.
A bit like yourself, Bobby.
I go back as far as 1955.
Seconds out.
The year before I was born. Round 3 then of this lightweight contest. And just to remind you, the multicoloured trunks, Yifru Retta, based in Canning Town, but originally from Ethiopia, against Bammana Dibateza, who's based in Dagenham, not too far from Canning Town, of course. And he's from Zaire originally. Why on earth would you want to come here from Zaire, Bobby?
Well, it's a long bus ride.
It's a long bus ride. And there's a very good chance, looking at Retta's body, that he could make featherweight and possibly get a crack. I was about to say, I was just wondering if the Ethiopia is still a part of the Commonwealth, Bobby. Let's check with the backroom boys.
Must check, yes.
Get the Pairs Encyclopedia out.
Was one of my best subjects at school, geography.
Because if it was, of course, it would be a nice little match between Retta and Juco for the Commonwealth featherweight crown.
I must say, Retta's making a good impression. Trying, throws lots of hooks, nice jabs, nice right hand. Stands tall, good protection. He's taking these punches in the gloves and the elbows, the arms.
Well, it turns out all the boffins in the back room reckon that Ethiopia was never part of the Commonwealth, and I think they're probably right.
I think go to the bottom of the class, don't take the books.
Once again, a flapping comeback by Dibateza, but most of the way in this round, as in the previous ones, Retta doing the business. He's a tough little fighter,
He's a
Dibateza,
tough
isn't
little
he?
fighter, but he's mainly arm punching. Not fantastic hand punches.
Just to explain, by arm punching, you don't mean he's hitting the other man's arm. You mean he's actually not putting a great deal of body behind his punch.
That's right, yes.
Retta now looking to pick one.
Yes, I see he switched southpaw.
Yes, and Dibateza still very, very hard to open up. Doesn't take many clean punches, does he?
No, he's not taking any clean punches at all. He's a very hard man to tag.
Well, that's
find the way past. He just can't.
well, that's one of the Eastern Bloc fighters' textbook, isn't it? They
Wasn't.
the rangefinder.
It's a very interesting little fight, actually.
So there he is, and the very defensively sound Bammana Dibateza and Darky Smith. I'll just clarify that Darky Smith's the one on the left.
Yeah. Well done.
Right, here we are, bit of Dibateza going forward, and I think I'm right to call it a flapping attack, don't you?
The
way he's throwing
knuckle
those.
punches. Yeah. But at the same time, the punches and the landing song.
Bonus 10 seconds.
It's keeping this a very competitive fight.
Yeah. Round 4 then of this scheduled 8. Sorry, scheduled 6. This is in fact the halfway stage now.
Round 4.
Because those extra 2 rounds have been cut. I do believe the reason for that is that you've actually joined us late live on Eurosport for this particular boxing evening. And we'll probably make up a bit more time as well as we go on. Cut the main event to 6 rounds, Bob.
I think Retta's now come out looking for some big bombs.
Which means, I personally feel it means that Dibateza is going to be even harder to break open, because you know, if you're threatening with a big one, he really does close down, doesn't he?
He does close down. Oh, nice. Oh, he's trying.
Yes, I think Dibateza's learned at a very early stage in his career that to be just good enough to give them a hard time without winning.
Exactly.
But getting paid and travelling all over the world is far, far more productive than going out trying to bash people out and not getting another job.
But he's a very, very awkward fighter. You know yourself, a very awkward fighter. Compact, throws lots of combinations.
And he probably lives in a big house in Dagenham. Who, of course, back in the 60s when you were British champion, who were the big name fighters around at the same time as you? Hogan Bassett, I suppose?
Hogan Bassett, of course, and the great Davy Moore, who I fought.
Yeah.
World champion.
Oh, and suddenly, Retta got tagged.
Tagged with a couple of punches there.
And the irony is that in his 2 losses, Retta's actually been stopped. One was a knockout, and he lost his professional debut.
Is that right?
Yeah, in 4 rounds.
Strong little kid, strong little boy.
Yeah, go on, you were saying, Davy Moore?
Davy Moore. The great Ray Famerson.
Oh, right, yes.
Who was European champion, beat Ray in 5 rounds.
You beat Ray Famerson in 5?
Yeah,
I should have really checked on your record, buddy, shouldn't I? Come out with a whole string of names.
You let me slip that one in.
Yes, no, why not? Because Ray Famerson, one of the all-time greats, wasn't he?
All-time greats, yeah, great man.
And who were your heroes of that particular era?
Well, Ray was one of my heroes.
Yeah. And you beat him in 5?
I beat him in 5, yeah.
How did you feel?
Well...
Were you disappointed?
No, because he was such a great fighter, you know. It was a great high for him at the time, actually. He just lost in points to Willie Pep for the world title.
He's not too well these days, I understand.
No.
Shame. Let's wish him a recovery.
Sad, yes.
That's a left hook from Retta, but this is a much more even round now. I'm not going to try and say that Dibateza's won it, because he does tend to miss a lot. But he got through with more in that round than he did in the previous ones put together, didn't he?
He did. This young kid's he's keeping his guard up high. He's blocking a lot of punches. His smallness makes him very awkward. And those big bombs from Retta just aren't getting through.
Yeah, I'll put a replay here. Let's see what happens here. And a bit of a stump. Oh, that's the big right hand from... In fact, that it's probably a pretty level round, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would say it's a level round. Yes, indeed. He's not lying down to this Retta. He's trying very hard all the time.
So there's Yifru Retta then.
Pause 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 5.
It's round 5 then. This is the penultimate round. And just to remind you, Yifru Retta, on our card anyway, has won 3 of the first 4, with one possibly the 4th round level. And Dibateza, see that old stick out the left hand. Now there's no law against that, and Jim Pridding's wrong to pick him up on that, because this was a very well-known tactic of the Eastern Bloc fighters. They used to measure you with the left hand
and keep you at distance
and crack you with the right. But the thing is, it's so easy to beat, because if it's not touching you, they can't hit you.
That's right.
You know, and I remember fighting the Hungarian champion, knocking him over the top of the right hand all night. And there's, you know, because he had his left, there's nothing he could do about it.
Exactly.
It was more of a benefit to me than it was to him.
Yes, exactly.
There you are. But then again, I suppose when you run out of ideas, what else do you do?
Right. But he's trying terribly hard. He's trying everything to say. He tries switching southpaw. He's throwing lots of combinations.
But the problem is he's exhausted his library now.
Exactly.
Darky Smith will probably have a go at me later for saying that. But I've got you, Bob.
Good lad. Darky's bigger than me.
He's bigger than both of us put together.
Nice backhand from Yifru there. Yifru.
There's no doubt that Yifru Retta's looked for a stoppage in this one, isn't he?
Yes, he's looking for something.
But it looks like he's going to elude him.
Yes, this old man is very strong, very compact, very hard to tag properly.
Oh, and that's a nice right hand from Retta.
Yes, that was good. Seemed to catch him in the back of the head.
What was the biggest show you ever boxed on, Bob?
Well, I've boxed at Wembley. I can't think of it.
Were you main event?
Yes, I've been main event already. I boxed in Cathkin Park football ground when there was 60,000 people there.
Wow.
I won the Scottish title.
Who was on?
Peter Keenan was on that.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
what packed out, not me. But it sounds good.
Of course, Johnny Famerchon, although he was a Frenchman, based himself in Australia, didn't he?
Yes. He was a nephew of the great Ray.
I actually meant that Ray and Johnny from the same family were based in Australia rather than in France. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, this one's come down to, I think, Dibateza realising he's not going to find the punch to cause an upset, a major upset as well. So he's just going to fit his way through to the end of the fight. And it looks like Retta's consigned himself to a points win.
Yes, but I think young Dibateza has boxed extremely well. He's been outreached, outpunched, but his movement has been great. He's been blocking well. He's come back with lots of flurries of punches. Partly an open glove, but nevertheless he's been scoring quite a few.
You might have to be careful, Bobby, about what you say about Dibateza, because when he watches this, he might think he's good. And start really getting into gear. No, I don't mean to be rude. I mean, we know he's a lot better than he thinks he is.
Yeah.
But, you know... There he is, that little man, and you're quite a fan, aren't you?
Well, you know, he's been outgunned all along, but he's never stopped trying.
Absolutely.
I admire the kid very much because he tried his heart out.
Never gets hurt.
Never, not
Always fights the good names.
Yeah.
Just what we need.
Seconds out, sixth and last round.
So the final round, and then timekeeper Harry Foxall calls them out. Well, I've always said, you know, while there's 11 seconds left on the clock, you could always get an upset, but it just looks unlikely, doesn't it?
Unlikely.
Well, getting a bit of a punch-up now in this last 2 minutes. Nice right. Oops, a daisy. Nice right. Dibateza. Just as we were saying.
Yeah.
Or I was. Yes, I'll excuse you there.
It's given young Dibateza some encouragement. He's trying to go forward and string with some punches. Yeah, very good.
Oh, lovely left from Retta.
I think Dibateza's boxed a very intelligent fight against a man who's much more accomplished.
Yeah.
Not taking any hard shots. He's always been there.
Oh, that's sort of right there from Dibateza. But as you said earlier, Bobby, he's not punching correctly, is he?
No.
Who would you say was your favourite fighter of all time?
Gosh, you've thrown one at me. But the greatest fighter I've ever seen was Sugar Ray Robson.
I'll agree with you.
The greatest. And by that I mean he could box, he could punch, he could in-fight, out-fight, you name it, he could do it.
Absolutely.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Well, it's not a great deal, I don't think, in this last round. I think Dibateza had the better of the early stage, but and might just get the better of the last bit as well. Chasing like a wild man. He's managed by Roger Colson, I do believe, Dibateza.
Cher Roger.
Yes. Oh, nice right from Bammana. It's interesting, Roger Colson standing in Dibateza's corner, actually coaching him in French.
Yes.
Oh, nice left hook.
Yeah,
Good shot.
Very nice, very nice.
Well, it's all over now. I think Retta's won it.
Yes, Retta's won.
Yeah.
But,
There we are. No doubt about that.
very competitive fight.
Yeah, and a pretty level last round, I think.
Exactly. I think young Dibateza was very, very good. Tried extremely hard.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
Yep. He's what we call a trier, isn't he?
A trial, yes. Very, very awkward.
We'll have to wait for the score now. And here we are. Here we go.
Right for this third round.